Welcome back to the Radio Merit Badge. These are requirements 2B, 2C, and 2D. This is about radio stations WWV and WWVH. These are run by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, N-I-S-T, in Boulder, Colorado. And the stations are located in Fort Collins, Colorado, and in a very northern part of the state of Colorado, and WWVH on the island of Kauai, Hawaii. What these stations do is they transmit very, very, very precise signals, time signals on 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 20 megahertz. So the purpose that they serve for us in radio is that if we can hear them, we can determine what propagation is like, or again, from our requirement 2A, how good the radio signals are reaching us from either Colorado or from Hawaii. So these signals are acting as beacons, essentially, to indicate propagation conditions. There are also many other beacons, hundreds of beacons around the world that we use in amateur radio to actually determine what propagation is like, and if we can communicate with stations in a particular place that we're interested in. This is the station of WWV in Fort Collins, Colorado. It's basically a single-story building that has interesting transmitting equipment in it, but the building itself is pretty nondescript. But what's amazing and very impressive is the antenna structure, and the antenna structure, for one, of many that actually suspend the antennas in the air that actually carry the radio signal from the transmitters in that building down there and radiate them all over the world. So this is an indication of what they actually send. Let me see if I can get this to play over here. We'll actually get listen to a few seconds of what this actually sounds like.
At the tone, 9 hours, 0 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time. National Institute of Standards and Technology time. This is radio station WWV, Fort Collins, Colorado, broadcasting on internationally allocated standard carrier frequencies of 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 20 megahertz, providing time of day, standard time interval, and other related information. Inquiries regarding these transmissions may be directed to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, radio station WWV, 2000 East County Road 58, Fort Collins, Colorado, 80524.
So basically, it just sounds like a clock on the air, but it's extremely, extremely precise. These stations used to be the standards before GPS became the standard for time syncing. These used to be the standards that are used by radio and TV stations, radio amateurs, commercial radio services, and by the government as well. So a DX station, as we mentioned earlier, is a distance station usually located in another country. DX is the old Morse code abbreviation for distance. And again, we're communicating with distant stations. Couple last thoughts here about who regulates all this stuff. The Federal Communications Commission is the agency, the federal agency in the United States that assigns call signs, administers examinations, issues licenses, also enforces all the rules of radio communications, including any violations, for instance, to the Communications Act of 1934, which applies to amateur radio operators and everyone else. They handle interference complaints and matters of communication. So the FCC does not have any authority outside the United States. All of our licenses are federal licenses. They are not state licenses. Radio waves know no state boundaries. So We have all federal licenses issued by the Federal Communications Commission. On a worldwide basis, the International Telecommunications Union is the agency headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, that actually coordinates global communications. And their purpose is to try to prevent harmful interference and also make sure that there's some order in the electromagnetic spectrum. That concludes these requirements. The next requirements are 4 and 5C. How is information actually put on a radio signal?